Alexandra Eala selling out stadiums at Abu Dhabi Open draws strong reaction from fellow pro. Rising star Alexandra Eala's ever-growing popularity drew a response from fellow pro Dhabi Saville, who highlighted that Eala is selling out stadiums around the world. She added that if she were a tournament director, she would try and get the 20-year-old to play on every day of an event. Eala is regarded as one of the top young players in tennis, and enjoyed a breakout run last year during the Sunshine Swing. The Filipino tennis star attracted tens of thousands of fans at the Australian Open earlier this year, and had to be escorted from the court by heavy security following her match against Alicia Parks, despite the match being played on one of the outer courts. Dhabi Saville on Alexandra Eala's rising popularity. Fans have continued to turn up in numbers to cheer for Eala at the Abu Dhabi Open. The stadium was packed for Eala's round of 32 clash against Zeynep Sonmez, which she won 6-4, 6-3. Seeing Eala's rising popularity, Saville said it could benefit tennis tournaments, as fans would then stay to watch additional matches. Alexandra Eala is selling out stadiums whether she's playing singles or doubles. Tournaments where the fan attendance wasn't that high in previous years, Saville said in an Instagram reel posted on her account. If I were a tournament director, I would do anything for her to be at my tournament. I'd also make sure that she's on the schedule every day, so doubles and singles, because then people come to watch Alex and then stay for more tennis. But yeah, you can see in the crowd numbers whether Alex is playing or not. The Filipinos are showing up for their girl and I love it. Eala's Australian Open main draw debut featured an electric atmosphere, with people queuing for hours to watch their favorite player in action. And the thousands of fans who did not manage to get into the court watched the match on screens at the Australian Open grounds. Rising fan support for tennis young talents. Much like Eala, another highly rated youngster has been enjoying immense fan support at tournaments. João Fonseca has enjoyed a wave of passionate support amid his meteoric rise. The 19-year-old's matches have often drawn large crowds, with him experiencing loud, vociferous support more common in soccer than in tennis. The support began at the Miami Open last year, where Fonseca reached the third round. He also drew large support at the Australian Open earlier this year, where he was eliminated in the first round by Elliot Spitzeri. At just 20 years old, Alexandra Eala is no longer simply a promising talent in women's tennis. She's become a magnet for crowds, energy, and buzz that few players her age ever experience. At the ongoing Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, Eala's influence has transcended match scores and rankings. She's pulled fans into stadiums in numbers typically reserved for the sport's most established stars, and that's drawing strong reactions from her peers. Tennis racket and ball, an electric atmosphere in Abu Dhabi. The Zayed Sports City Stadium in Abu Dhabi has become a sea of excitement whenever Eala steps on court. Filipino supporters, many traveling internationally, have packed the seats and filled the air with chants of Eala as the rising star competes. From a round of 32 win over Zeynep Sonmez to the approach of deeper rounds in the WTA 500 event, the stands have buzzed with energy usually seen only at Grand Slams or tennis's biggest showcases. It's not just tennis fans in general. It's a cultural moment brought to life by a passionate Filipino fanbase, whose dedication mirrors the fervor often found in football arenas rather than tennis stadiums. Speech balloon fellow pro reacts, Dhabi Saville's take. Australian pro Dhabi Saville, currently off the tour due to pregnancy, was among the first of her peers to publicly acknowledge the phenomenon. Alexandra Eala is selling out stadiums whether she's playing singles or doubles. Tournaments where fan attendance wasn't that high in previous years. If I were a tournament director, I would do anything for her to be at my tournament. Dhabi Saville. Saville's comments, shared via social media, reflect more than casual admiration. She highlighted how Eala's presence could transform the commercial and sporting appeal of events. From her perspective, a player who draws crowds is an asset not just to herself but to the sports ecosystem, bringing fans earlier and keeping them engaged throughout a tournament. This is powerful praise from a fellow professional who has competed at the highest levels and understands firsthand the dynamics of drawing fan enthusiasm in tennis. Fire why Eala's fan pool matters. Checkmark beyond rankings. Alexandra Eala currently sits comfortably inside the top 50 in the WTA rankings, a significant jump for any young player. But numbers on paper don't fully explain what's happening on the ground. Her ability to draw fans is less about her ranking, and more about the emotion she generates. Her matches feel like events, not just fixtures, because of the crowd energy and the narratives tied to her journey. Checkmark cultural connection. Eala's rise resonates deeply with Filipino tennis fans who, historically, haven't seen many representatives at the pinnacle of the global game. Her success is symbolic, a breakthrough moment for tennis in Southeast Asia. That cultural connection, and the pride it ignites, is a major factor in why fans travel, chant, and fill seats in stadiums like Abu Dhabi. Heavy checkmark tournament impact. Saville's idea of scheduling Eala every day, in both singles and doubles, underscores a key idea: spectacle matters. In an era where sports compete for viewers' attention, a player who brings fans through the gates helps justify larger sponsorships, more TV coverage, and greater overall investment. The ripple effect of one player's popularity could benefit entire events. Watch out more than a moment, a movement. The excitement around Eala isn't isolated to Abu Dhabi. Earlier this year at the Australian Open, she drew tens of thousands of fans, with many queuing for hours just to catch a glimpse of her on court, even on outer courts where matches don't traditionally pull big crowds. Some spectators who couldn't secure seats watched on screens outside the grounds, a testament to her pull. That momentum, along with a stylish left-hand game and intense spirit on court, has helped Eala build a following that feels generational and cross-cultural, the sort of support that's rare in tennis until players reach superstar status. Performing art's the emotional side of the spotlight. With great attention comes great emotional weight. In fact, some fans wonder how the intense support affects Eala mentally. Loud crowds can be both a boost and a pressure, especially in a sport like tennis where focus is everything. Some observers note that such fan intensity, while thrilling, can add a layer of psychological challenge. This duality, of fans acting as both fuel and weight, is part of what makes her story compelling. Eala is young, gifted, and now navigating a spotlight that many seasoned champions take years to comprehend. Trophy more than just a player, a catalyst for change. Alexandra Eala's influence at the Abu Dhabi Open is about more than packed seats. It's a cultural shift, a player from a country with limited tennis tradition drawing support and attention on the world stage. It signals a growing diversity in the